lyricist and songwriter. And yeah, so that's what I am. And you know, we perform at the creation conventions, and we do conventions, you know, all across the world when we're fortunate enough to do so. And it's just been a really great time kind of meeting everybody from the Supernatural fandom, and just being able to kind of share our music with everyone. So today we're going to kind of walk through what it takes to kind of write a song, and I think it could be really fun. So thanks for joining us, and thank you, Charlie, for having us, and Kristen and Berto for being there. Really excited for this.
Well, great. So I'm going to let you do your thing. I'll be here. Kristen will be here. But if you want to kind of roll through it, I'm sure. And everybody, if you want to participate on camera in any way, just make sure you raise your hand. There's a little raise hand button. If you have any questions, use the Q&A feature. And we'll be taking questions periodically throughout at the end of each section of the sort of lesson plan here. So use the raise hand and the Q&A button.
All right. Well, I'm going to go ahead and share the screen, and I'm going to go into my keynote. Let's see here. All right. So first off, I want to start out with basically saying that there are no.
We don't see your screen yet.
Can you see anything?
Not yet.
Oh, no. Here we go. How about now?
Yes.
All right. Now my Zoom. Okay, so check it out. So there are really no rules to songwriting. I mean, when I was younger, I picked up my guitar for the first time. I had really no knowledge on music theory. It was really just kind of what felt right. I would just strum chords, and then sometimes those chords work together, and then melodies would just appear. So it wasn't until later on that I really kind of discovered theory and how it could work to kind of help solve some of these puzzles that I was finding myself in. I would constantly ask myself the question, like, okay, where could the song go from here? And without having a little bit of this knowledge, it was kind of spinning my wheels a little bit. So that I kind of took the approach of, let me just figure out a couple things here that are important. And what I'm going to show you today are some of those things. This method is really the diatonic method, it's called. And it's a pretty popular method as far as songwriting goes. So the first and foremost thing we want to go over today is, oh, where's my little clicker? The 12 notes in Western music. We need to basically acknowledge what those are. The major scale, and then from that major scale, some chord progressions. And then we'll just touch on tempo, and then we'll go into some lyrics and what's important for a good lyric, and melody, what makes up the melody and how that melody kind of works with those chord progressions, and why it does. And then I'm going to show you some examples using this method. So first and foremost, let's touch on these 12 notes in Western music. So before we get into it, notes are really just a combination of pitch and a duration. So if you look at an 88 key piano, you'll notice that there are white keys along the bottom. The very leftmost key is what's called an A0, which is basically 27.5 hertz. Now, as you go up the piano keys, you're going to hit A1, which is basically a double in that frequency. And then it just goes up from there, 110, and then 220, 440. So you get the idea. So 440 is an important one, because if you ever heard of a tuning fork in music, you hit that tuning fork, and that's the pitch that shows up when you're strumming that tuning fork. So we're going to start our little musical alphabet with A2. A2 is important for me because I'm a guitar player, and when you hit that A2 key on that piano, you're going to get the open A chord on a guitar. Open A note. Okay, so as I go through the notes, we're going to identify the notes in music. The next note is B. You're going to see the alphabet appearing in front of you. Okay, this is all pretty straightforward. E, F, G. Okay, and then after G, we're going to start going into what's called sharps or flats. Okay, these are all the natural notes in music. Now, once you get past G, we've moved to the next octave. So then it just continues from there. So the spaces in between those whole notes are actually sharp or flat notes. So if we're going to go ascend from A, the next note after A is going to be A sharp. Next note after C is going to be C sharp. Next note after D is going to D sharp, F sharp, G sharp, and then, A sharp again. Now those sharps are these black keys on the keyboard. And I love the name, the Black Keys, the band. I think it's the coolest name just because it's taken from this theory here. So as we move backwards, we're descending. You have B flat, A flat, G flat, E flat, D flat, and B flat again, okay? So you'll see that A sharp and B flat are actually the same exact note. There's no difference. Just some people call it A sharp if you're moving up. Some people call it B flat. But if you ever hear A sharp or B flat, they are the exact same note. So the distance between each note is called a half step or a semitone. If you take two notes, it's one full step or a whole tone. One thing I like to do, just to kind of remind myself, is if you're ever wondering what notes have sharps or flat notes in between them, I came up with this little thing that if it's B and C and E and F, everything else is got a flat or a sharp following it or preceding it. So I like to put the be cool, everything's fine in my head. And if I know that those be cool, everything's fine, then there's no sharps or flats in between either of those notes. Just a little thing that I kind of do to kind of help myself. So from here, we're going to go to the C major scale. Now the C major scale is a great one because it's all whole notes, okay? So it starts out with C, moves to D, one whole step, and one whole step again to E, half step to F, whole step to G, another whole step to A, and a whole step to B. Now this C major scale, the first note is a root note, which is C. D is our second, E is our third, F is our fourth, G is our fifth, A is our sixth, and B is the seventh note in the major scale. All right, right now I'm going to go do a Boerhaave brain break. This is one thing I like to do to kind of just cleanse the palate a little bit. This is my friend Michael Boerhaave. He plays the bass in Loudon Swain, and he's my travel companion. He's this cheerful guy, and I just love him very much. And he's going to take us on to the next part. So we've now identified our C major scale, okay? So if you look at a keyboard, the C major scale is right there. It's basically all the white keys. You hit C, and all the white keys following that, C, D, E, F, G, A, and B, and back to finally C4. Now, one thing we want to figure out today is, of this C major scale, what chords make up the C major scale? So obviously your first chord is C, okay? It's C major. And what you do to figure out what chords make up the C major scale is it's what's called a triad. Now a triad consists of the first note, the third note, and the fifth note. Okay, so in this case of C, the first note is C, the third note is E, and the fifth note is G. Okay, so that's how we know that it's a C major. So this is, first note is C, third note is E, and the fifth note is G. And that makes a C major chord. So as we move through the C major scale, we now need to identify what chord is a D. Is it a D major? Is it a D minor? So in order to do that, we take D as 1, okay? F is 3, the third note. G is the fourth note, and A is the fifth note. So that sounds like this. Here's your D, there's your F, and there's your A. Now that it makes up a D minor chord. So we're going to assign D minor to that note. And we move along, and we have E is your first note, G is your third, and B is your fifth. That makes up E minor. Moving on to F, you have your F is your 1, A is your 3, and then your C as your 5, and that sounds like this. And that's an F major chord. Moving on to G, we have the 1 is a G, 3 is a B, I'm gonna go back, and then the 5 is a D. That sounds like this, which gives us a G major. Moving on to A, we have the A is a 1, 3, C is a 3, and the E as a 5. That gives us this, which is A minor. And then finally B, the 1 is the B, the 3 is a D, and the 5 is an F. So that is kind of a tricky one because it's very dissonant. So it's what's called a diminished chord. So it's B diminished. We're not going to dwell on the diminished chord today because most songs only use them when they're kind of moving into the next chord. It's really not used all that much in popular music. So we're just kind of skip over that one today when we start going into chord progressions. So the next part is chord progressions. So we're going to find out of the C major scale and those chords that we've identified in the C major scale. So if I go through the C major scale as the chords, it's going to sound like this. There's our C, there's our D, there's our E minor, and we have F, G, A minor, and then here's our B diminished chord. Okay, it's kind of a funky sounding one, right? But you kind of where you hear that is like when they kind of build back into that C, the root. Okay, so there are the chords that make up the C major scale. Now we're going to assign these Roman numerals. This is what they do in music. So for the 1 chord, it's our C, and it's a Roman numeral 1 with a capital, denoting that it's a major key. Okay, our D minor is the 2 chord, and that's lowercase. E minor, 3 chord. F major, that's our 4 chord. G major, 5 chord. A minor is our 6 chord. And finally, the B diminished is our 7 chord. So from here, we're going to go over some popular chord progressions. Okay, and before I go any further, this is our C major scale. Now, this same principle applies to any note. Okay, so I'm just going to move a half step back, and this is what it would look like if you were going to write a song in B major. This is what it would look like if you're going to write a song in A sharp major, and then finally A major. And it just goes throughout all the notes. This applies to really all of the notes in the Western music here. So back to our C major scale. This is a progression that's very popular, and I'll play it for you. It's a 1 chord, it's a 6 chord, and it's a 4 chord, and a 5. So this basically sounds like this. I'm sure you could find a couple songs that use this progression. Okay, so that's a very popular one. And then basically another great progression is the 1, 3, 4, and then the 5. That sounds like this. Okay, so you can combine any of these chords and really come up with a really cool progression. They all work together. They all work really nicely together. All right, another Boerhaave brain break, because I love Boerhaave very much. This is just gonna... Okay, so after we've learned the progressions, we need to go over, just touch on tempo a little bit. Tempo is important because it's really the heartbeat, the pulse of what your song is to be. So important that the tempo, it's known as the speed of the song. So if you're going to write a nice slow song, your tempo should be relatively slow. Tempos are measured in beats per minute. Okay, these are basically, it's just you. If you ever heard of a click, clicks are beats per minute, and common BPM ranges are from 35 BPM, which is super slow, to 250 BPM, which could be pretty fast. But really, depending on where you are, what your song needs to be. Most pop songs are around 120 BPM. They're pretty much, any kind of dance song, any ballads are kind of a lot lower than that, maybe 60, 70 BPM. But it's just important to know that there is kind of a something to kind of keep your song intact, and that's kind of the beat per minute. Most drummers will say that's the most important thing in any song is the tempo. It is, but I really think that there's a lot of songs out there today that don't play necessarily to a click, and they kind of free form it, and that's great too. It's whatever really works for the song. My first song that I wrote in my very first band, we went from one tempo to the next tempo, and everyone was like, "Oh, that's kind of weird that you do that, you jump that," but we made it work, and it was like one of the most successful songs we've ever had in that band. So it doesn't necessarily, it's not like you must have your song locked to a specific tempo. It can fluctuate, but in most cases, pop songs and things like that are locked to a specific tempo. Okay, so we're going to move on from tempo. Where'd my thing go? Okay, so let's get into lyrics a little bit, because lyrics are pretty important, right? I'm very fortunate. I have one of the most, my favorite lyricists in the world. I'm lucky enough to perform in his band, and that's Rob Benedict. So he does a really, really great job at storytelling, and he really captures the emotion in his lyrics like no one I've ever heard. So I'm blessed, first and foremost, to be in a band with Rob Benedict. Whenever I come up with an idea, I usually just come up with the chord progressions and a melody. And initially, when I'm writing a song, the first thing that pops in my head is, what is this song about? I come up with like a premise of the music of the song. After that, I kind of just mumble a couple things down in the melody over the chord progressions, and then I'll send it off to Rob. And then 9 out of 10 times he sends it back, and I'm just like, that's incredible. I'm so glad that you're able to kind of come up with something for that. And it's a pretty awesome process. So I really, really enjoy that. With that being said, let's touch on lyrics a little bit here. One important thing is when you're writing lyrics and thinking about writing lyrics, is to really show it, not just tell it. There's a lot of we'll get into that in a second, but you want to use imagery when you're kind of describing your story. That's important. Don't overuse the metaphors. Obviously we love a good metaphor, but if you're using a metaphor too often, it could get a little bit much. So just kind of use it sparingly when you can. Avoid cliches. It's obviously obvious. Find new ways to say the same thing. Try new rhyming schemes. That's always fun. And then don't force rhymes, because that's it kind of sounds when you don't want to force anything really, but definitely don't force rhymes. And finally, we're going to prioritize our message. So getting into show it and don't tell it. So songwriting is a form of storytelling. It can be tempting to simply describe to your audience what happened and how you felt about it. So like, imagine you're telling yourself a story about a relationship that has ended, and you'd like to convey how much you miss that person. You can of course say, I loved you and now you're gone, or I miss you with all my heart. But what if instead of telling you how you feel, you showed us, right? So think of a person who clearly misses a form of love. How do they act? How do they spend their time? Give us a glimpse in their day-to-day life and their thoughts. This will lead to a story that's much more realistic, therefore relatable. So to help you try to do this, try talking about love without really ever including the word love. Talk about missing someone without including the words miss. A great example I like to always share is Ed Sheeran's Castle on the Hill. I just heard this recently on the radio, and he does such a great job of kind of showing a story and kind of um, just really describing the scene, setting up the scene. So Castle on the Hill is basically about him missing home, and it's about kind of talking about what was really important to him at that, at that time in his life. So rather than saying I miss this place, he writes the lyrics, I'm on my way, driving at 90 down those country lanes, singing to Tiny Dancer, and I miss the way you make me feel, and it's real when we watch the sunset over the castle on the hill. I mean, you right then and there, if you're closing your eyes while I'm saying that, or while he's singing that, you could envision what he's telling you. You can envision him in the car. You can envision him, bobbing his head to a song. It's very visual, and that's an important thing when writing lyrics, is to kind of instill that visionary into your lyrics. It's very important. So that is certainly which kind of leads to my next step here, is make use of the imagery. A big reason why the idea of show it, don't just tell it works so well is because it gives listeners an opportunity to use their imagination and picture a scene. Okay, so it allows them to imagine the lyrics of a song, engage more than just our listening skills. It creates an immersive experience, allowing us to feel the song more deeply, remember it better, and associate our emotions with it. When you have the chance to try to embellish your song with something the listener can visualize, this can be the room that the main character is in, the clothes they're wearing, or an action they're in the middle of. It doesn't even have to be realistic. Our minds are so powerful, they can imagine things that just don't exist in real life. Sometimes creating a scene that one would normally never see in reality is best way to convey a message in a unique and memorable way. So I love it when songs use imagery. So let's go back, like Ed Sheeran's Castle on the Hill, for example. He sings about his old childhood home he misses. And then here he is, 15 years old, and I'm smoking hand-rolled cigarettes, running from the law through the back fields, and getting drunk with my friends. Had my first kiss on a Friday night. I don't reckon that I did it right. It's so great because, again, you close your eyes and you imagine him as a kid going through all this kind of growth as a person. And it's a really cool thing to kind of, I love that song so much because it really does take us back to our roots and where we came from. And I think it's a beautiful song. And then here we go. Don't overuse metaphors. Let's take a swig of tea here. You like that? Going back to bed after this. Another great technique in songwriting is using metaphors. There's a difference between a cheesy metaphor that was thrown in for the sake of having a metaphor and a metaphor that was intended for a more subtle and intentional. When it comes to metaphors, the key is to not overdo it. Like I said, they're a great tool for comparing one thing to another in order to explain its meaning or highlight its significance, but it's too easy to rely on metaphors to make a song seem interesting. If you're going to use metaphors, stick to just a few and make sure they fit the same theme or relate to each or other somehow. When you use too many unrelated metaphors, the song can quickly become too confusing and almost cryptic in a way, and we don't want that. One of my favorite metaphors, though, ever used is Hotel California. I mean, still to this day, this song is very debatable as to what the lyrics are actually indeed about. Even after the fact that the Eagles came out and just explained what it is, people still feel like it's a song about becoming a Satanist and worshiping the devil. But welcome to the Hotel California. Such a lovely place, such a lovely place, such a lovely face, plenty of room at the Hotel California. Any time of year. You can find it here, which is, when I was younger and I heard this song, all I wanted to do is I wanted to go visit this Hotel California. That's how good the metaphor was, because folks that didn't understand it was a metaphor at my young age, I just wanted to visit this Hotel California until the end. And I'm like, that's probably just, it sounds like hell. So there have always been numerous speculations from the moment this was released, because Eagles really clarified it, actually meaning some still believe it's about praising Satan. Nevertheless, it's undeniable that it's one of the band's most enduring songs. The Eagles have given its real meaning as a way to speak out against corruption, greed, and hedonism of the music industry in the 70s. The song is metaphorical. Henley even said that they didn't literally mean California. It's all about being consumed by ego, absorbed by pleasure and self-righteousness. To this day, it remains a masterpiece, and that's hands down one of my favorite songs ever. It's played a lot, and justifiably so. We're gonna go into cliches. One of the first things we can do as lyricists is to kind of fill it with overused lyrics. How many times have you heard the phrase "set me free, my broken heart"? Where are we going here? Hold on, not too far. Let you go. They're used very often as songs, and they've sometimes are considered too easy from a lyrical standpoint. Why do we hear them so often, though? I mean, you could honestly say I've heard "My Broken Heart" in a number of songs. Well, in most cases, you're going to hear those songs from folks that have already been established, and they're making hit song after hit song after hit song. You're kind of allowed a little bit more flexibility when it comes to that stuff as you become more popular and more well known. If you're just starting out, you kind of want to really kind of show your greatest skills, and that's really kind of making poetry for your lyrics. It's one of those things that makes you stand out as an artist, and it gets you that platform so that you can later on write cheesy lyrics. But one band that really continues to blow me away with their lyrics is obviously Eddie Vedder and Pearl Jam. He's a great lyricist, and still to this day, he's still cranking out amazing poetry in their songs. So this is another fun thing, find new ways to say the same thing. Finding different ways to say the same thing doesn't just come in handy when we're trying to save your song from having too many cliches. It's just a great technique in general, whenever you want your lyrics to be more interesting and captivating. Saying something in a way that people don't normally hear in everyday conversation grabs the listener's attention and helps them relate to your song in a unique way. When done correctly, it can make the listener think, no one has ever put it this way before. This is what Rob Benedict does really well. He kind of creates this this scene, and like our most recent song, let's see, there's the and he does it all the time. And it's something that I always love whenever he sends the lyrics back, and you kind of can dig in there and enjoy that, and actually say to yourself, no one has ever put it this way before. Lines like that are what really help the listener form a unique bond with the song, and can even lead to them becoming a lifelong fan. So this is a cool example. This is Taylor Goldsmith from the band Dawes. I love Dawes very much, and he's a great lyricist, very interesting lyricist. Definitely a very cool song. This song is off of, it's called Roll with the Punches, and the separation was symmetrical. They both retreated to their sides, drawing lists of demands and muddy lines in the sand, trying out their separate lives. It's just a really cool way to kind of describe a divorce. It's rather than saying they simply got divorced, he kind of embellished it a little bit and kind of created a visual, so to speak, as to what that divorce was like. So we're going to move on to trying new rhyming schemes. One of the things that with common lyrics, they have the common rhyming scheme A B A B or A A B B, but there's so many options out there. If you're feeling uninspired, definitely look to poetry, because they've it's right there as the kind of the Bible, so to speak, of lyricists, is looking at really good poetry. You can even create your own rhyming scheme by altering or combining the schemes you already know. So just play with that. This is another example of that. Like, Hey Jude, for examples. Hey Jude, don't be afraid. You're made to go out and get her. The minute you let her under your skin, then you begin to make it better. Just really cool. You can even make the two lines end with the same word, make the second to last words rhyme instead. There's definitely different ways to make rhyming work with your lyrics. One thing you don't want to do is force the rhyme, right? So let's go back to the Ed Sheeran song, Castle on the Hill. I'm on my way, driving at 90 down those country lanes, got way in lanes, kind of rhymes, singing to Tiny Dancer. And I miss the way you make me feel, and it's real when we watch the sunset over Castle on the Hill. So he's rhyming real and hill there, which is, technically not a rhyme, but the L sound gives you that rhyme in the lyric. So one thing for sure is to prioritize your message. You don't have a whole lot of time in a song to convey your message. So you want to kind of get it as concise as you possibly can, whether it's rhyme, structure, the number of syllables in a line, rhythm. It's when it comes to songwriting, it's important to prioritize. So what I like to do is sit down and I write down and I think about the story and what it's going to be about. I write a few lines. I know I definitely want to include in that lyric. Then I build a song around it. Most of the times I'll start with a chorus and then I'll kind of back into the verses, a bridge. But that's definitely one of those things you want to kind of focus on what your message is and make sure it's clear and concise so that the listener could really kind of grab hold of it. All right, we're going to move on to melody. Melody, we're going to go back to our C major scale and the chords within the C major scale. And our melody is basically the C major scale. So if you're playing your C, your melody is going to be in C major. And it's a simple way to remember, where do I go? Okay, you just pick any note in the C major scale and maybe work from there. It's a really great method, this diatonic method. So let's move on to song structure. Using that C major scale, okay, we're going to a song is basically consists of an intro. An intro is something that's pretty short, and it's typically intended to kind of grab the attention of the listener right from the start. It's important. It's sometimes it's full of it has a nice instrumental melody to go along with the chord progression underneath, and it really just intends to kind of suck a listener into the song here. So our intro is first and foremost, and then after an intro, typically it goes into a verse. And this verse is a section of a song that typically features a new set of lyrics on each repetition, compared to a chorus section where the chorus just repeats the same lyrics in most cases. The verses are really kind of set there to kind of tell that story to support the chorus. The first verse is the first full section that the listener hears. It needs to engage them and hook them in. Something dull or cliched can quickly turn the listener off. So it's important to kind of grab them in that very first verse. Following the verse, in most cases, we have a pre-chorus. Now, the pre-chorus is kind of intended to kind of bridge the verse and the chorus. The pre-chorus kind of starts to lift that verse up a little bit so that when we get to the chorus, we are at a much, it's not a huge jump into the chorus. It kind of just continues to lift the song up. The pre-chorus, sometimes they repeat the pre-chorus as well as the choruses. It's very similar to a chorus, but it just kind of echoes the need to kind of elevate the song at that point. And then as we discussed earlier, the chorus is the section of the song that it's like kind of the meat of the song. It's the most concise message that you can probably get in the song. It needs to repeat itself, drive it home, and it's pretty much the most important part of the song, I think. Finally, follows by another verse, and then we're gonna do another pre-chorus. Let's hit that chorus again, and then we're gonna go into a bridge. A bridge is it's cool because the bridge is when your song is starting to feel a little repetitive. This is the part in the song where your bridge just kind of jumps out and it really just makes the song feel new again. It's really kind of a climax after the chorus. And a lot of times, this is the part in the song where I like to kind of take a little solo if I can, or we do something really fun musically with that. Following a bridge, depending on how slow or fast your song is and how long your song is in time, you could either go to a chorus here, or back to another verse and then into a chorus. And then after that last chorus, we're going to go into a little outro. And that's typically you repeat the chorus in some cases, or you do some sort of instrumental melody, kind of taking everybody out. And it's really like the peak of the song at that point is the outro. So now we're going to get into some examples, okay? I'm going to take a swig of my coffee because I am parched. Real quick, I'm going to back out of the share screen for a moment, and I'm going to set my settings up because I want to walk you through some of these examples. I'm going to turn this on. I'm going to add a little. I got my mic here on my guitar, and I'm going to add a little bit of this here. All right, going back to my share screen. Where'd you go? Okay. All right, so a great example of a song using the C major scale is Let It Be. Okay, so that sounds familiar, right? It's all of the chords within the C major scale. So for the purposes of this example, it's just a little high for me to sing, but I'm going to go ahead and leave up the chords with the lyrics. And you can see that we're kind of locked in with all of the chords in our C major scale. I'm going to drop this down to G major. So this is how it sounds in G major. When I find myself in trouble, Mother Mary comes to me, speaking words of wisdom, let it be. And in my hour of darkness, she is standing right in front of me, speaking words of wisdom, let it be. Let it be, let it be. Let it be, oh, let it be. Whisper words of wisdom, let it be. When the broken-hearted people living in the world agree, there will be an answer, let it be. Though they may be parted, there is still a chance that they may see. There will be an answer, let it be. Let it be, let it be, let it be, oh, let it be. Whisper words of wisdom, let it be. Let it be, let it be, let it be, oh, let it be. Whisper words of wisdom, let it be. And my favorite part of the song, the solo. Let it be, let it be, let it be, oh, let it be. Whisper words of wisdom, let it be. cloudy, there is still a light that shines on me. Shine on till tomorrow, let it be. Wake up to the sound of music, Mother Mary comes to me, speaking words of wisdom, let it be. Let it be, let it be, let it be, oh, let it be. Whisper words of wisdom, let it be. Let it be, let it be, let it be, oh, let it be. Whisper words of wisdom, let it be. Let it be, let it be, let it be, oh, let it be. Whisper words of wisdom, let it be. So here's our G major chord, right? It's really cool when you start unlocking the power of the major chord. That was fun because I was able to kind of take that song, which is a little high in range for me for singing, and I was able to drop it to a major chord that I felt comfortable with. So, and you know, there's no better example of this diatonic method really working than showing a Beatles song, a hit Beatles song at that. Another great example, I mean, let's just call it what it is. I mean, John Lennon, Imagine. If you guys like, I could take you out and I could play this one. But this one is in C major. I'm going to sing it in C major, and you can see the chords here. There's one chord in here that doesn't fit the C major scale, and it's used in the bridge here. You see F, G, C, and then it's got an E major in there. Now that should be an E minor technically, but this just goes back to following there's no real rules in songwriting. Why this E major works so well is because there's no melody on top of it. If there was a melody, if you were singing the C major melody over an E major chord, there's going to be some resistance there. But the fact that he's using it at the end of that progression makes it really work, and it makes it really, it just makes the song really. It's just one of those things that E major almost instills hope in the song. It's a beautiful thing, and I'm so happy that he broke convention when writing the song and threw that E major in there. Easily one of my favorite songs. Imagine there's no heaven. It's easy if you try. No hell below us, above us only sky. Imagine all the people living for today. Imagine there's no countries. It isn't hard to do. Nothing to kill or die for. And no religion too. Imagine all the people living for today. You may say I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. I hope someday Imagine no possessions. I wonder if you can. No need for greed or hunger. A brotherhood of man. Imagine all the people sharing all the world. You may say I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. I hope someday you'll join us and the world will be as one. So if you look at the Beatles, they got a lot of hits. John Lennon, I mean, such an amazing songwriter. Paul McCartney, such an amazing songwriter. And they rely on this diatonic these chord progressions for their songs. And it's a really cool testament to how powerful that method is. I'm going to do another Borja brain break because I need to take a sip. So I hope you guys enjoy the Borja breaks. These are my favorite. This is my favorite person right here. Okay, so let's have some fun with this. Okay. All right, I'm gonna give you a little homework. So based on what we learned today, I went ahead and I constructed a song, composed a song using some of the some chord progressions from the C major scale. So first and foremost, we're going to give ourselves a little intro here. And we're going to play this 2 times. So what I would like for you to do is co-write this song with me, okay? Take as long as you need. There's no rush in songwriting, okay? This is one of those things. I've sat on songs for years. I mean, get it to me when you can. But what I would love to see is you take these progressions, okay? You could do them in any key that you want. You could do them in C major, you could do them in B major, A major, whatever. You could do them in any key that you like, any tempo that you like. Make it work, okay? But the structure is going to be as it is here. We're going to start with our intro. We're going to go 1, 6, 4, 4. We're going to play that twice. Now, each of these chords, I'll just play it real quick. They're going to be 2 beats, okay? So our 1 is our C. Okay, 1, 2, 1, 2. 4, okay? You could do this any speed you want. If you want to make this a punk song, go right ahead. Make it whatever you feel like making it, okay? These are going to be the chords for our verse. We're going to continue that intro progression for our verse. Now, your melody is going to be in C major, remember, or whatever major key that you're playing this in. Okay? Then we're going to go to a pre-chorus. Now, I broke up the pre-chorus into 2 different progressions. We got a 2-2, 6-6, and then a 2-2, and then resolving on that 5 chord, okay? And for our chorus, again, I broke this up into 2 sections so that we have a little bit of something tricky at the end of the chorus, just to kind of give it a little bit of, just change it up a little bit. But we're going to go, the first 3 sections in the chorus are going to be 1, 4, 5, 6, and then 4. We're going to play that 3 times, and then we're going to end it out with a 1, 5, 4, 4. I'm going to play that only once. Then we're going to repeat the verse, another pre-chorus, another chorus, and then our bridge, which is going to consist of 6, 6, right? And then 3, 3, and then we're going to sit on that F, that 5 chord, or 4 chord, sorry. One last chorus, and then give us an outro. You can do that 4 times, 8 times if you want to extend it. If you want to jam on that ending, by all means, jam on that ending. But what I would love to see is you guys take this progression, come up with some really cool lyrics, and then tweet it out to me. I'm going to retweet that to everybody because I really think it's important to kind of share this music and it would just be a really fun thing to do if you guys are all up for the challenge. Um, yeah. Anyway, I just wanted to say thank you. That concludes my presentation. So first and foremost, just wanted to thank you all for coming and being here. And there will be a chance to, I guess, retrieve this after. Charlie will be able to give them information on that if you want to go back and kind of review anything. But definitely thank you, Charlie, and thank you, Kristen and Berto and the whole GIST team for having me today. This was super fun. And I guess, Charlie, if you want to open it up for questions, I'm going to just stop sharing my screen.
Let's do it. I got you. Don't worry about that.
Cool.
We've got a few questions. I can actually just rifle them off to you if you want.
Let's do it.
That's easier. So Kimberly asked, why is E minor while F is major?
Why is E minor? Well, is this a joke?
It sounds like a joke to me. I think it's, is it easier? So Alyssa asks, is it easier to start fresh with lyrics or take a poem and turn it into a song for you in general?
That's interesting. There's a couple different approaches to let me turn off the reverb here because this is.
No, it's silky.
You like that?
Yeah, it's pretty.
One thing with songwriting is it's the chicken or the egg, really. You know, it's what comes first, the lyrics or does the song come first? I like personally to write music first. There are folks that have poetry written, and then they fit that to the songs. And there's advantages to both, really. When I've ever had to try to kind of fit words into a constructed song, it creates new, unique challenges where it dictates the melody. And sometimes if you have an extra amount of syllables or something, you have to find a different melody and a different approach than you typically do it if you were to just start with the music and have a melody written before lyrics. Help You with Loudon Swain was an example where I had all the music written and I had a melody pop in my head. And it was one of those ones that kind of the melody was locked to the song. I felt like it was just like, that was just what the melody should be. And then I sent it off to Rob. And when it comes to songs that I don't sing, I always tend to just give as little as I possibly can. I'll give them like an idea what the story I felt should be when I was writing it. But most of all, I want them to kind of come up with those words because they're married to that at that point. You know, it's like in order for them to really feel passionate about the song, I think it's important that it's their own words. So I never would like to write a lyrics to anybody and send them to Rob and say, here are the lyrics. And not that he wouldn't do an amazing job portraying whatever I wrote, but I just think it's more heartfelt when it comes from the person singing the song to actually write those lyrics. That's just my personal opinion. That's how I always felt worked. But for Help You, I had the chords, I had the song, I had the progression, the whole arrangement laid out with a melody. I sent it to Rob, and then he sent me back the words to the melody, and it was just beautiful. And I was that was like one of the really first songs that he and I collaborated on. And it was such a special moment, and I was just so blown away by what he was able to kind of come up with from a lyrical standpoint. But yeah, either or really.
So along that line, we've got several poets and people and writers here. We've got a couple of questions about further learning for melody and the musical side of it. You know, any further musical education resources that you'd recommend or classes and things like that.
Well, you know, we're very fortunate to live in a day and age where YouTube is just accessible to any device that we have in our pocket, really. So it's just, that's one thing that I've really kind of leaned on when it comes to kind of brushing up on theory and things like that. There's tons of courses on YouTube. I think there's Udemy. I think it's pronounced Udemy. They have courses as well. The masterclass courses are really great. It's really cool today to live in an age where we have software like GarageBand, where you necessarily don't need to be a musician to write a song. It's like a lot of it's right there for you. One of the master classes I saw advertised was a deadmau5, where he was kind of walking through how he writes a song. He's like, I really don't know what these things are, but they're bars here, and I just slide them up until they sound right, which kind of brought me back to when I first picked up the guitar, and I would just do whatever felt right. You know, it's like I knew a couple chords, and I would just kind of play them in whatever order I felt right. So there's there's an endless amounts of resources out there today, and it's really a great time to be a young songwriter, because you have so many great tools. It's just a really great time.
So true. So many resources at our fingertips. Um, we've got a question for those of us that can sing and write words but not instrumental parts. How do we go about songwriting a program? Is there an app? Like you were just talking about GarageBand might be a great opportunity there, or maybe find someone who plays instruments.
Yeah, I mean, collaborate with somebody that's maybe a musician. Again, GarageBand is a great tool. You could just go in there and pick up the digital keyboard, that the piano that they have in there, and start hitting the notes on the piano and writing music in their program, which is a really fun way. I mean, but yeah, if you could find someone that you enjoy being around, that's a musician, by all means go there, and then it gives you the ability to kind of play out live and do that. I know there's a lot of lyricists and poets out there that it would be really great to hear them in a song format. So and don't be intimidated by picking up an instrument. Piano is a great instrument to start. And if you just find yourself learning, it's never too late to learn an instrument. I know a lot of cats today that are just like, they're finally picking up the piano after years and years of not doing anything, and they're really finding it to be a really great tool for them when it comes to that. So don't be afraid to take up an instrument.
That's right. That's right. Yeah, Outschool. There's a whole Udemy and all sorts of stuff. We can send out those links too.
Absolutely.
Uh, let's see. There's also are there bands or musicians? This is actually a really good question. You would recommend to learn songs for beginners? Are there simple chord progression type songs? Obviously, pop music can do that, but like, are there musicians that you like to have people listen to that may be able to teach people some basics?
Yeah, there's quite a few. You mean, just go back. I mean, the Beatles, while they are the Beatles and they make amazing music, if you look at like Let It Be, it's not overly complex in terms of the progression of the music. It's just it's a masterpiece, and there's no question that it's like one of my favorite songs on the planet. But look at the Beatles. I mean, there's a lot. I mean, you could look at, even modern day. You could look at Jack Johnson. It's what the key is to not get discouraged by a complex melody that you may hear, because the melody sometimes could make people feel like, oh, that's a really hard song. But when you look under that melody, like if there's an instrumental melody or something, there's just chords, and they're pretty much following a diatonic method or anything, just simple chord progressions underneath that. So again, don't be afraid. Like, let's look at Kansas. That's a riff. That's scary, right? But it's like, it's A minor, G to F, So when you break it down, it's actually, it's a much simpler song. And that's why it was really fun to kind of do that when Brianna is like, we just kind of, just broke it down to its simplest form and let her go to town on it. And yeah, it's just, you could really kind of dissect the song just by peeling away some of those intimidating melodies that amazing musicians come up with, and just kind of finding the songs, the core of the song underneath it.
So true. It's easy to get, like, also high production elements, and lots of little sounds and snippets and things will kind of take you on off the beaten track. What do you do if you get stuck working on a song and you get your brain moving again? Irina asks.
Well, it's one of the things is, don't force it. If you feel like you got to take a break, put the guitar down, go for a walk, get some fresh air, and then when it comes to you, pick it up again and take it where you left it. By all means, don't force the song, because it's never going to come out the way you want it. Again, there's songs that I started years ago that I'm still like, oh, there's obviously the perfectionist in me that wants it to be perfect, but at some point you have to kind of let it go. And that's why being in a band is so it's great for me, because you have three other dudes that are like, hey, all right, this is good enough. Let's move on to this section now. Let's do this and that. So it kind of forces you to kind of let go of the baby a little bit. But when it comes to just just writing in general, you never want to force anything. You never want to force lyrics. You want to come in with a fresh headspace. And what I typically do before any kind of writing session is I'll meditate and I'll just quiet my mind. And because there's so many distractions in life that can really hinder a creative process. So just clearing your head and then coming out of that meditation with something, just a fresh mind, and just starting from scratch, really, that to me is a really great way to kind of restart the creative process.
Totally. And if you have a noisy mind, put that noise into music. It's
Yeah,
seriously, like if you've got noise going on, may as well turn it into notes.
exactly. Well, that's the thing is like for what I find in meditation,
Yeah.
it's not just a quiet moment. I'm hearing thoughts. I'm constantly hearing things, and a lot of those thoughts, I'm like, okay, that's that. Maybe I should try that now. So it kind of frees you up to kind of rethinking certain directions and stuff. So
Yeah, rewiring.
yeah,
Can you remind everybody real quick the homework? We'll also send it out to you along with this video afterwards. But yeah, if you wouldn't mind just for
yeah. The homework basically, I'm gonna they'll have that example I created. Just gonna show you those progressions again. If you could take those progressions, stick to those progressions, but do them at whatever key that you want. You could do it in G major, A major. You should have, if you could back up in this presentation that I showed you, you should have what those scales look like and what those chords look like within those scales, and then come up with a melody in that major key. Come up with some lyrics, and then shoot it back to me. And I would love to hear what you all come up with. It's going to be a fun thing. It's going to be a fun little activity. So, and again, take your time with it. Don't rush it. There's no need to rush it.
what are the progressions again?
Oh, here, I could pull it up on my little thing here. Hold on.
And we'll send out
Yeah.
links and all that, and we'll get you all sorted. But yeah,
I'm going to share my, oh, well, I can't do that, but I have to share screen first. Okay. Ready? See?
yep. Wait, nope. There we go.
So apply to any major scale. I have up here on the top here the C major scale, but if you wanted to do it in G major or A major, whichever you decide, whichever works for your vocals. Again, one thing that I've learned doing the Saturday night specials with Loud and Swain is sometimes there are artists that don't want to sing, or want to sing a cover song in a different key, so we have to kind of adapt to that. And it's really you're at the mercy of the voice when it comes to performing. So do what's comfortable to you, sing it in a key or a register, whichever is most comfortable to you, and never force it. It's something that's going to just, your voice will know when you're pushing it, and it'll tell you to kind of either back it down a half step or a whole step until you find that key that kind of really where your voice kind of sets in nicely.
Awesome.
Has everybody got a chance to grab that?
Yep. And we'll send out a little screen grab too, just to get everybody sorted. Awesome. Well, thank you, Billy. Thank you so much. It's
Looking forward
been
to hearing it though.
Yeah, awesome to have you. And thanks everybody for tuning in. We'll send you guys all this video, all you folks out there, and have a great Friday. Billy, have a great weekend.
Awesome. Thank you, everybody. And it was just a lot of fun. So I just want to thank you again, Charlie. Wait to look forward to seeing your songs.
Awesome.